I don't usually go camping. I'm more of a sleep indoors with Wi-Fi kind of person. But my friends had been planning this weekend trip for months. They promised it'd be chill. Just a couple nights under the stars, no phone service, no noise, no stress. I needed that. There were 4 of us: me, Josh, Priya, and Adam. We left the city early Friday morning and drove about 5 hours north into this forest reserve that Josh swore was totally safe and basically empty. The drive was fine until the last hour, when the paved road turned into gravel and my signal dropped to 0. I remember joking, "If we die out here, no one's even gonna know where to look." We got to the campsite around 4 p.m. It was a small clearing surrounded by pine trees so tall they blocked half the sunlight. The air smelled like wet bark and something faintly metallic. There was an old fire ring, some logs arranged as benches, and a narrow trail leading deeper into the woods. Josh said it led to a lake, maybe half a mile away. We set up 2 tents, built a fire, and cracked open some beers. For a while, everything was perfect. Quiet, peaceful. You could actually hear yourself think. Around 9 p.m., just after the last bit of daylight disappeared, we started hearing something faint in the distance. It sounded like singing, low and rhythmic, almost like humming in unison. Adam laughed and said it must be another group camping nearby, but the sound wasn't really campfire singing. There were no pauses, no laughter, no guitar strumming, just this steady chant. We tried to ignore it, but after an hour it got louder. The voices sounded coordinated, like a dozen people repeating the same words in a language none of us recognized. "Probably some weird hippie meditation group," Josh said, half joking. But even he sounded uneasy. At around 11, Priya wanted to check it out. She said it'd be funny to sneak closer and see what kind of forest cult was doing yoga at midnight. I wanted no part of it, but of course, the others were curious. So we grabbed a couple flashlights and followed the sound. The chanting came from somewhere past the lake trail. It grew louder with every step until it didn't sound like it was far away anymore. The air got colder too, like we'd stepped into a different part of the forest entirely. About 15 minutes in, we saw the light, this soft orange glow flickering between the trees. Josh motioned for us to turn off our flashlights. We crept closer until we reached a small clearing. There were people there, at least a dozen of them, all wearing dark robes, standing in a circle around a stone altar. The firelight made their faces look stretched and wrong. On the altar was something covered in cloth, and one person, the tallest, was holding a long wooden staff, chanting louder than the rest. No one was laughing or smiling. No one moved except to sway slightly in rhythm. We watched in silence for maybe 10 seconds before Priya whispered, "Okay, let's go." Her voice cracked on the last word. We turned around slowly, trying not to make a sound. That's when Adam stepped on a branch. The snap was louder than it should have been. The chanting stopped instantly. Every head turned toward the trees. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, the tall figure raised the staff and pointed in our direction. Josh hissed, "Run!" We ran. I don't even remember the trail, just branches hitting my face and the sound of feet behind us, heavy and fast. I could hear someone yelling words I didn't understand, deep and guttural. When we finally reached the campsite, we didn't stop. We grabbed our phones, our keys, whatever we could, and sprinted to the car. Josh fumbled with the keys, dropping them twice before the engine finally started. As the headlights came on, I saw movement between the trees, shapes, shadows, watching. No one spoke for the entire drive back. We didn't stop until we hit a gas station about 20 miles away. It was almost 3 a.m. Priya was crying quietly. Adam kept saying we should have filmed it, that no one was going to believe us. Josh didn't say a word. He just stared out the window, pale and shaking. When we got home, I tried to sleep but couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard that chanting again, slow, rising and falling like a heartbeat. The next morning, Josh texted that he wanted to go back. He said he needed to see if it was real, that maybe we just panicked. None of us replied. By Monday, he stopped answering messages. Priya said he wasn't at work, and his car wasn't in his driveway. We called the ranger station for that forest, trying to explain what happened. The ranger on the phone sounded confused and told us camping in that area wasn't allowed. That section's been closed off since 2012, he said. No one's supposed to be out there. Too dangerous. We told him about the people, the chanting, the fire. He said, "Ma'am, there's no record of any group with a camping permit this weekend." "You sure you weren't on the south side?" "We weren't." I remember the exact turnoff. Mile marker 83, dirt road, faded sign. That night, I got another text from Josh's phone. It just said, "Come back." I found something. When I called, the line was dead. 2 days later, his sister filed a missing person report. They found his car near the same trailhead, doors locked, keys still inside. His phone was in the driver's seat with no signal. The last GPS ping from around midnight Saturday, the exact time we ran. The police said they'd searched the area, but after a week, they told us they found nothing. No sign of him, no campsites, not even tire tracks. Priya won't talk about it anymore. Adam moved out of state. Sometimes he sends me articles about local legends and unexplained disappearances, always with a nervous laugh, like it's just a story. But last night I woke up around 2 a.m. to a faint sound outside my apartment window. It was low at first, almost like a hum. Then I realized it was the same rhythm, steady, rising and falling. Words I still don't understand. I looked outside, but there was nothing there.